So guys, today we're starting a whole new series, and that will be the roster breakdown series for the 2020 NFL season. With this first video of this series, I'm doing my personal favorite team, the Carolina Panthers. I am using dynasties.operationsports.com. It is a great website for creating depth charts. I'm not sponsored in any way, as much as I would love that. But yeah, so let's get straight into it. And subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos like these. And yeah, I'm OhMoore, and let's get into this video. So, starting at the Panthers quarterback is Teddy Bridgewater. I don't know if you don't follow football or not, but the Panthers did cut Cam Newton, an all-time Carolina Panther legend, and they signed Teddy Bridgewater. So he will be the new QB. They also signed P.J. Walker, a backup XFL MVP. He's a quarterback, so he will be the backup for Teddy Bridgewater. And they have Will Grier from a couple drafts ago. And then starting at running back is Christian McCaffrey. Kind of obvious there. Probably the best running back in the NFL. In my opinion, is the best running back in the NFL. He can do everything. He can catch the ball. He can run some power on the goal line. And he's just an all-around great running back. Backing him up will be Reggie Bonifant, who showed great sparks last year. He had that one really long run against the Jaguars for a touchdown. So he will be second, and Jordan Scarlett from Florida, who they drafted last year in the 4th round, will be third. And Mike Davis, who they signed last year, will be 4th on the depth chart. It's going to be between him and Mike Murphy, and I have Davis getting the spot. At fullback, Alex Arma, Georgia State alumni. A lot of good fullbacks come from there. Good at blocking, can catch out of the backfield in situations where he has to, and that's what the Panthers need in a fullback. Wide receiver, they did add a lot of additions to this group. So starting and one wide receiver spot is DJ Moore. Really on the rise for this Panthers team. He's more than just a slot receiver that everybody thought that he was going to be. And in this division, Teddy Bridgewater needs a wide receiver who he could just go to when he feels pressured and like a safe route, like Greg Olsen used to be for the Panthers, who they let go, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But DJ Moore, one wide receiver spot. They did pick up Robbie Anderson for another wide receiver spot, 2 speedy guys. And in the slot, I do have Curtis Samuel. Very fast, really promising, prime for a breakout year if he doesn't do it this year with the Panthers. I don't know about the rest of his career because everybody's saying how good this guy was going to be last year, and I don't know if it was quarterback play or him just not getting the ball enough, but some weeks in fantasy he would put up 2 touchdowns and some long gains, but Curtis Samuel's got to show a little bit more of what he could do. On the offensive line, we have Russell Okung with that really dumb trade with the Chargers to get Russell Okung and give up Trey Turner. Do not understand it whatsoever, so we're just going to skip over that one. At the guard spot is Greg Little. He played tackle for most of last year. He can move around the line. Ole Miss 2nd-round pick from last year. Really a good prospect who they are trying to build up. And behind him is Dennis Daly. Dennis Daly moves around the entire line. He was in a lot last year, so expect to see switches in the middle of games. We even saw it sometimes between Daly and Little and Okung now. So Daly could slide in at any time, maybe on the goal line if they need an extra lineman. Daly's going to be the one going in there. So Little and then Daly at the left guard spot. Center Matt Paradis. Very disappointing year last year, knowing how much this team paid him. We're going to need to see more pass protection from him. And the other center is Tyler Larson, who's been on the team forever, even backed up Matt Khalil, so he's just a career backup, and that's perfectly fine with him because he's getting paid a lot. John Miller now at the right guard. Not sure how I feel about the signing. I would have liked to seen Dennis Daly get a starting spot at this spot, but John Miller was signed from the Bengals, I believe. He's a young guard. See what he can do. Maybe he's a hidden gem that this Panthers signed this offseason. Right tackle is Taylor Moton. On the rise once again. He's this franchise tackle that they needed for so long, and I think he could be that. And yeah, that is the offensive side of the ball for the Carolina Panthers. Now we move to the defense. So the Panthers did switch back to a 4-3 defense. They were in a 3-4 last year. As soon as Ron Rivera was let go and Matt Rhule said, look, we're going back to a 4-3. Fits us better. And here we go. So the 1st-round pick from last year, prime for a breakout season. And when I say that, I mean this guy is going to be great in my opinion. He's fast, he could shed blocks, and I just don't think he was the outside linebacker that Rivera's scheme had him in. But Brian Burns now is going to be the left defensive end instead of the left outside linebacker since we are in a 4-3. So yeah, that's going to work out very well for this team, I hope. At the defensive tackle spots, we have Derek Brown and Kawan Short. Forgot to mention the backups. Efe Obata, who Matt Rule said that he was super high on, could even start at the defensive tackle. He likes him on the outside, so he's going to be subbing in and out with all these guys. These guys are going to be back to back to back. Third down, if you need somebody in there, Efe Obata is that guy. And third on both of the sides of the line is Christian Miller. Smaller guy, but he really can get to the passer. He's a fast guy and sometimes can drop into coverage, because they had him in a 3-4 last year. But, yeah, so that's the left side. The right side is Derek Brown and Kawan Short. Not the right side. The middle is Derek Brown and Kawan Short. Derek Brown was the 7th pick in this draft out of Auburn. Really wonderful prospect. I maybe would have liked to see Isaiah Simmons there, but now looking at more stuff from Derek Brown, he's a pure run stopper, and if you can get that pass rush game developed, he will be a havoc for offenses. He will wreak havoc for offenses. Kawan Short at the other spot. Not much to say about Kawan Short. He'll be on the team for a while. He's a captain. He's a Panthers. I don't know if I would say Hall of Famer, but he's definitely a top 15 Panther of all time. And yeah, he's going to be at that other D tackle spot. And then we have Zach Kerr, who they signed from Arizona, and Bravion Roy, defensive tackle from Baylor, who is more of a nose tackle, so will go in there on goal line stands. And Matt Rule is very connected to him because he did go to Baylor, and Matt Rule coached at Baylor last year. On the right side, we do have Yeturgos Matos second, only because Stephen Weatherly looks like he could be the starter this year, just because of how shocking Yeturgos Matos was a pick. We had no clue that he would be there in the second round, so they did take him out of Penn State, who I love. I think he's going to be a great player. Just don't know if he'll start right away. Him and Weatherly could certainly share snaps. Weatherly, I think, will be up there first, and as I said, Christian Miller. Weatherly was signed from the Vikings, by the way, in free agency. Outside linebackers do need some work now, because these are cover outside linebackers now, not rushing like we had in the 3-4 last year. So Jermaine Carter's on one side, Whitehead, who we signed in free agency from the Raiders, is on the other side, and Shaq Thompson, my opinion, a top 7-8 linebacker in the NFL. Yep, come at me in the comments if you don't agree. I'm here to debate. Shaq Thompson in the middle, and Jordan Kunazik, who I absolutely love, and I really, really, really hope we don't cut after the preseason, because this guy's going to be the next Luke Kuechly. He's small, but he is such a smart football player, so I think he's going to be great backup middle linebacker in this defensive scheme. Smith and Haynes backing up. Haynes might not make it to the team because what he brings just doesn't fit this defense anymore in a 4-3. So yeah, maybe he could develop his pass coverage a little bit, but not right now. Looking like so Dante Jackson's going to start at the corner spot, of course. Probably a franchise guy. Really showed sparks his first 2 seasons. That one crazy interception against Arizona was absolutely awesome, but he's shown that he's a little bit too greedy sometimes, so he's at that starting scoring spot. So is Troy Pride, the rookie out of Notre Dame. He's great. I loved the pick when we made it, and I just think it was perfect. TJ Green is the other backup, Justin Burris. And then the 7th round pick I do have making the team, Stanley Thomas Oliver from FIU. Stanley Thomas Oliver is a sleeper in this draft. His man-to-man coverage is locked down. He's got to work on his zone, and he can't be as good as scouts were saying if he did go in the 7th round, but I do have him making the team. Cole Luke I have making the team. Justin Burris, another interesting guy, because he came on as a strong safety, but when we drafted Jeremy Chin, who I'll get to talk about in a little bit, I don't know if Burris will start at that strong safety spot, so he's going to back up, probably put slot in this corner system. And Cole Luke, of course, still making the team. One of my favorite Panthers, unsung heroes for the Panthers, came in that Green Bay game and really shadowed some of their receivers. And I really like Cole Luke, and I think he should make the team this year. Kenny Robinson, the backup free safety, drafted from West Virginia, and he was drafted in the 5th round, I believe. Because he got kicked out of West Virginia, it's a little bit of a question, but he was a star in the XFL, having 5 interceptions in 3 games, so I think it was a good pick. And then Jeremy Chin and Trey Boston, safety pair. And that is it for this Panthers roster breakdown. If you guys want to see any more of these videos, I will keep posting them, so turn those notifications on. This is OhMoore, and I'm signing out. Peace, guys. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.